There's no guesswork. You cannot be guessing. You implement principles. Okay? Right, guys? You implement principles. You cannot be guessing. And you're trading. So, like we said, what is Forex? What is Forex? What is Forex? Now, Forex is a short name for foreign exchange. Foreign exchange, we say we have one country here and another country here and another country here. For these three countries to do business among each other, they have to always have a handshake. They have a handshake method, approach, and that way they're basically handshaking each other with their currency. So here, if this is the US and they're using the dollar, and this is let's say Kenya, and they are using the Kenya shilling, if the US wants something in Kenya, they go to change their dollar into Kenya shillings so that they can purchase the goods. Let's say it's coffee. They go to change their dollars and pay this coffee in Kenya shillings, because Kenya shillings is what is recognized in Kenya. It's not the dollar. Okay? The dollar works, is known well in the US. So likewise, if Kenya has got to import let's say oil, for instance, from the US, they got to convert their Kenya shillings into dollars and pay these guys in dollars so that they can receive the oil. The oil can be shipped, and when this oil comes, it's now distributed by the government to the oil refineries and distributors, to different dealers of the fuel and all that, you know. That's exactly what happens. Likewise, this country, if this is the, let's say this is a country like South Africa, you know, South Africa, that is the rand. The currency is called the rand. They've got to exchange their currency to Kenya shillings so they can buy, let's say, rice from Kenya. Likewise, Kenya has got to convert its currency to South African rand so they can get, let's say, diamonds. I mean, for their ornaments. Let's say there's an Indian company in Kenya that is manufacturing diamond ornaments, you know. That is a business they are going to be doing. And the only way is to exchange the Kenya shillings into the rand. Because, you see, when they're in their country, the rand is what has value for them. The value, the underlying value, the profit will come in the rand form. And that is why they've got to receive the rand. So, right now, newbies and anybody who is new, anybody who is coming into this, he's never been into this, he's been worried, wondering what is this Forex, how do you go about it? That's what it is in a nutshell. Foreign exchange. Foreign exchange. That's what Forex is. And there's no country that does not use Forex. There's no country that is not involved in Forex. For example, you yourself today, we're not saying you're doing Forex, but you do exchange. When you want to go and buy bread, you have money, Kenya shillings. You got to go to the shopkeeper. You give him the Kenya shillings, he gives you the bread. That's a simpler way of understanding the Forex market. It's all about transactions in a foreign entity that is not yourself. So in this case, the shopkeeper here is a foreign entity. You don't own the shop. I mean, well, even if you own it, you have to do business. You don't just get the bread for free unless you're not in business. It's a foreign entity for you. So you send somebody there with the cash, he pays, he gets the bread. Obviously, when the economy gets tougher, this bread becomes more expensive. So lesser, you need more money now. The money you had was less. It can buy that same bread. You'll need more shillings now to buy the same bread, guys. That's a simple form of foreign exchange. Same bread, bigger cash. And we're going to see those things as you go along. So the foreign exchange market, as we are saying, is a market where foreign currencies are bought and sold. Foreign currencies are bought and sold. Okay. Foreign currencies are bought and sold. So let's say you want to buy, let's say you have the euro, it's written like that, and you want to go and buy the pound, it's written like that. You will go to the foreign exchange market. Then you will float the number of euros you have and the number of pounds that you need. And because in the foreign exchange market, there are always two entities exchanging currencies. It means that when you want to give out the euro, you want to get back another currency so that you can remain with something but of a different value. Why? Because, I mean, you don't go to the bank with $10,000 and then you go to the cashier, the teller, and you give him the $10,000 and you walk away. Guys, you need to get your value of $10,000 now in Kenya shillings or Tanzania shillings or Ugandan shillings or pounds or German Deutschmarks. Why? Because you go to get value for something every time. Just like a mechanic. When you take your vehicle to the mechanic, what you want the mechanic to fix the shocks for you. But the mechanic will also need to get payment for his service, and the payment is the value. And that is how Forex works. Don't complicate it in so many ways. We're going to see it slowly by slowly. Okay? So for example, if a Kenyan importer, this is a Kenyan importer here, he wants to import sugar from, let's say, from where? Let's say from the US. I mean, for lack of a better place to talk about the sugar. So, the only way, as we said, and now this should be getting clearer, is for this Kenyan company to communicate to the US company that is manufacturing the sugar. And let's say this Kenyan company wants to import 100 tons of sugar, and the company in the US tells them, well, that will cost you $10 million. So it's now work is to the Kenyan company now to visit the bank, no, You visit the bank and you go and exchange your Kenyan shillings to the worth of $10 million. And then you use SWIFT or RTGS to deposit the money in this company in the US in their bank account. And as soon as they receive that money, whichever method, that SWIFT, RTGS, wire transfer, or they are going to do it through Bitcoin wallets and all of that, if they are accepting all of that, then they will ship the sugar as soon as the payment hits the account. And when you receive the sugar, this foreign exchange transaction will be complete. I hope I made myself clear there of how the dollars will be exchanged for the Kenya shillings and when the need will come in. If it's not clear, just repeat the video again and you'll get to understand. But then we are saying this. Why Forex markets? What's the purpose of Forex? The purpose of Forex is to help international trade and investments. The purpose of Forex is to help international trade and investments. Like we have just seen, when you're importing sugar from the US, guys, what are you doing? You're doing international trade. Why is it called international trade? It's trade across the borders, you know? It's across the border, so it's international trade. And it involves two separate currencies. When you're buying something from one city in your country to another city, that is not foreign exchange. That is not international trade. Okay, that is local trade. And the same currency, the local currency is going to be used. Now, so the purpose of Forex is to help international trade. International trade. That's the purpose of Forex. Okay? It also helps businesses convert one currency to another. So it helps currency conversion for businesses. For instance, a company like Amazon, it might, if it is based in Kenya, it might want to convert its dollars into Kenya shillings so that it can pay the Kenyan employees. So it's helping businesses convert one currency to another. So in a typical foreign exchange transaction, a party purchases a quantity of one currency by paying a quantity of another currency. The foreign exchange market started forming during the 1970s. So you can see how old it's been, and this market has been that old. So let's look at what makes Forex unique in that case. Let's look at what makes Forex unique in that. Yes, so like we are saying, Forex is unique in certain ways, and its geographical dispersion. The geographical dispersion, we mean you can do Forex from anywhere. You can exchange your dollars from the US, you can exchange your dollars in Europe, you can exchange your dollars, you know, and then the business is you can do it online. You can do it online now. Unlike in the 70s when it was only the banks that were being allowed to deal with the Forex business. Then there are low margins. Yeah. The low margins of profit compared with other markets. Yeah. You need very low input to make quite some money. But remember, the higher the risk, the higher the returns. Okay. That's why we said when we started, if you can manage your risks, the rest will take care of itself. Profits can be very, very high due to very large trading volumes. So there's no single unified foreign exchange market, like we are saying. There's no unified, it's not like stock exchange where you have the securities board, the New York Stock Exchange. That is where everything happens. It's not like that. So you can just transact. You can go to a bank, do an exchange. You go to another bank, do an exchange. It's totally different. There are rather a number of interconnected marketplaces where different currencies, instruments are traded. That's why we are saying there's no unified place for the exchange. The main trading centers are in London, New York, and Tokyo. Those are the main trading centers, and we are going to see that deeply. That is just a tip of the iceberg, my viewers. Be patient. We are going to see that deeply, and even how it affects trading. Okay, there's so much into that. We're going to look at it later during the episodes. So we are going to have different kind of episodes targeting different themes, but then we're going to be methodical in the approach. So like now we've spoken about the trading centers, London, New York, Tokyo, but when you go deeper than that, you find these are different zones of the world. When you're awake in your country, there are other guys who are not awake, and like that. So, and with this marks the beginning of your Forex journey. Allow me to walk you through it, as it's not an easy journey. There you are, guys. That's it for this episode, and let's meet in the next class. Meanwhile, to understand the next class, please take time to watch the past class episodes keenly, and remember to subscribe and press the notification bell at the bottom of the videos. If you have already subscribed, thank you. We promise you more enticing and reliable educational material to make you a better trader. Guys, if you had buried your Forex dream, hello, you are in the right place. Stay with us and your Forex trading dream will come alive. Okay? Thank you, and keep watching the Golden Castle FX channel. Thank you.